Hey everybody, Brian from BRStv here. We are on the show floor at Reefapalooza, and I've got Cade from Aperture, and we are going to talk all things AquaIllumination today. All right, so let's dig into AI. Newest, latest, greatest, obviously, we're talking about Hydra Edge.
Yes.
Right? So where are we at?
Hydra Edge, I can tell you, is the light I've been most excited about since the Prime. As soon as we were developing it,
Yeah.
couldn't wait to get my hands on one to test, and as soon as I started running it, I fell in love.
Yep.
To be honest with you. I mean, the Edge is really, really cool what we did. I mean, it's a big form factor change from the previous generations. What we did is we kind of switched up the design completely. We wanted to do something different that no one else out there that I know of is doing.
Right.
We took a panel light fixture, which is like the typical ones that are out there, and we also combined it with a point source light fixture.
There's one right there if you want to grab it.
There we go.
Pull it in front of us here. There you go.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. We got the panel light fixture right here. That's going to give you that nice, even blanket coverage of par that you like to see. And then in the center, we added the solar ring, which is where all the whites are. And what that's going to do is give you all of your caustics in your fish tank. So all the shimmer and the effect that people love, and the ability to control it.
Right.
So you could dial that up or down depending on if you like to see the caustics or not.
Yeah, because that was something that somebody else mentioned earlier, actually, that has the Edge, and they were saying that they just thought it was too much caustics. I'm like, well, you can dial that back,
can turn
actually,
it down.
right? So, perfect. Yeah. No, it seems like a great light. It's sleek. I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else we got about it?
Yeah, I mean, the Hydra Edge, that is a very cool form factor. The other thing that we did is we actually made it easier to clean and maintain the fan. So this grate actually comes off completely. You are able to blow it out and clean it. And even the connector of the fan, if way down the road you for some reason need to replace a fan, it actually just unplugs from the top, and then you can plug it directly back into the board. You don't need to open up the fixture, unplug the wire, or anything like that.
Wonderful.
So that is going to make it super easy. The other cool feature that I absolutely love that we did is the mounting. So we actually changed the way we mount lights now. We took it from a top mount fixture where we actually now have these screws go into the side, and what that allows you to do is angle and pivot the light. So it allows you to direct the light where you want it most in your tank. Yeah,
which is actually great too. I mean, we've got one on the studio, and when we're shooting or just standing around, we like to kind of angle it down into the tank. It hits the front of the rockwork, which is great, like just head on. But it also keeps some of that, that extra wash from coming out, the glare from coming out all over the room. So it's a pretty slick little design change. It's simple, but
simple and super effective.
Yeah, it's pretty nice though. It's an easy fix or an easy change, but yeah, it really does make a big difference.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, we've had so many people reach out and be like, hey, I have my tank in my living room, and when I'm sitting on the couch, it's a glare. How do I stop
looking up
that?
into it,
we had so many of that we started thinking, like, how can we actually make that different into the project without adding anything that might look a little bit bulkier on the light, keep that sleek form factor, and allow you to control and adjust it as you need it. And the beauty about it, too, you can actually move it forward in your tank, angle it back. Like you said, it lights up the front of your rock. And coral grows to its light source, so it's actually going to change a little bit of view of how you view your tank as your corals grow in over time.
Yeah, well, actually, take better advantage of the space as those corals are growing up and out instead of just straight up.
Yeah, you see a whole new vantage point as it grows in. So.
Yeah, very cool. No, it's a great light. Check them out. Yeah. Take a look at them and see what you think. But let's talk more AI. So we've also got some flow to talk about. We've got the centrifugal pumps, which the axis pumps.
Yep.
Talk about those?
Yeah, we have the axis return pumps.
Yep.
So what we wanted to do, nano tanks are popular. Nano tanks are very in right now.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a couple times today. Yeah, people are going smaller right now.
People are going smaller and smaller, and the number one thing that I think is kind of missing is a punch of flow in a nano tank, along with controllability with your return pumps.
Sure. Yeah.
So what's special about the Axis is its form factor, that it is more a vertical stack rather than you get the more bulky, short-sitting pumps that push up water. These actually stand vertical, so it allows you to get a bigger pump into a smaller chamber. So essentially you're going to be getting more flow out of it. And then with the controllability, you're able to add it to my AI and or Mobius to get full control of the pump. So you can dial it up and down and calibrate it to your tank size.
Yeah, because that was always the thing that bugged the crap out of me, right? You're building the tank, you got this little sump, and you got that little space, and you've got a pump you want to get in there, and it's like,
you're like, how big of a pump can I get into this chamber?
And then you're there online, you're measuring your little box, and then you're going online, you're like, nope, that one won't work, that one won't work, and half the power of what you want.
And then you find one that does work, but it doesn't account for the bend in the cord.
Yeah, right.
So then
sure.
you put it in, you're like,
Yeah. Basically, I end up
been
with a
there, done that.
I end up with a Maxi Jet 1200 in back in the day or something like that. Right. Yeah. So
Been there, done it.
yeah. So the Axis centrifugal pumps, they're awesome. Small footprint, a lot of power, and honestly, I love the way they look.
Yeah.
I just think they look cool. Yeah.
It's the unfortunate part about return pumps is, especially in Nano, you don't ever see them.
You don't ever see them.
But
that's a really cool looking pump.
for what it is, cleaning, maintenance is easy. The foot pops off.
Yep.
It's easy to pull the impeller out. So
Yeah.
could go on and on about it.
So that's your return pump, which is a great product. Now let's talk about your flow. You've got the
Nero. And then we got the Orbit.
Orbit.
Two different in-tank flows.
Yeah.
The reason we wanted to do this is kind of create a whole system of flow. So you get two different types of flow with each of those pumps. The beauty about the Orbit is you're going to get that huge cross flow that you're getting moving across that tank. So you can move it higher up in your tank and it's going to shift a lot of water across the surface of your tank, creating that excess flow that we all know that is needed in a reef tank.
Sure.
High energy reef tanks and just high flow is always going to be a good thing for a tank.
Yep. And I find that I use some of the Orbits and I find that they're great in conjunction with the Neros, right? Because they're producing that constant, continuous flow for the basically the whole water volume. And then those Neros are just really just punching directional flow where I want it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and they're powerful little things too. Those Neros.
I will say, I don't think you could really find a better nano pump than the Nero 3.
No, I mean, in some of my tanks, I got to crank them way down, and then I love the pulse feature or the random features, things like that. It's awesome.
That's the beauty about it, too, is it's fully controllable. So the Nero 3, you're able to tone down depending on your size tank. And people even ask, oh, I have this 5-gallon tank or I have this 7-gallon tank. What pump could I run it? And they're afraid of the Nero 3 because the gallons per hour is higher.
Yeah.
However, you are fully able to control it and dial it down.
Yeah.
So you can turn it down very low.
Yeah, and I like to do so I like to kind of mix it up. Sometimes I'll do like the wave maker, the pulse, and I'll spread the pulse out pretty far, but make it like punch real hard for like a second and then just relax for like 10 and then come back with another. And you get this nice little wave action in there or just the random and just keep everything in there guessing. Just kind of fun.
A crazy man. Sometimes my 15-gallon Hella Reef I have at the office, I have an Axis 40 jammed in the back, I have a Nero 3 on one wall, an MP10 on another wall, and man, that tank is churning.
Full disclosure, I also have a Hella Reef that has 2 Nero 3s and an Orbit. And
it's just moving.
And none of them are cranked very high, but I was like, in order to get the perfect, because I'm growing SPS in there, I wanted SPS in it just to do it, because why not? But to get the perfect amount of flow in the right places, I had to really manipulate like 3 pumps and like tone them down and put them on pulses and everything. But now it's great and everybody's super happy. But it looks ridiculous, but I don't care.
I also have the Nero on the back wall too, which is cool that you can mount it in the back with that. The only thing we do that, just make sure you check the magnets every so often. We have not tested it that it is water safe. However, it can work. Just make sure you test it.
Yeah, actually, again, full disclosure, my Orbit's in the back.
Just check them every once in a while.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so what else we got from AquaIllumination? Anything that...
The blades.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, hitting on the blades.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the blades.
Yeah, blades are a huge.
I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, the Hella Reef comes with one, and first off, if you know somebody that's wanting to get in the hobby, or you just want another little tank and you don't want to put much thought into it, like what you're doing, I'd be like, I just want a little tank for like my office or my whatever. Man, those Hella Reef kits are awesome. I mean, they literally have it. They literally have everything in there that you need, right? But it comes with a blade. And, I found really quickly that I had to, just with one blade on that thing, I had to dial that dude down to like 50% because it was just like Coral were like, no, we're not having this.
Blades are powerful lights. I mean, people look at it and they go, oh, it's a strip light, or, oh, it looks expensive. But when you actually break it down to price per par, the blade is going to be the most efficient out there for cost because they are powerful lights. You can literally go with the blade and grow anything you want under a blade.
I was growing SPS under them.
Yep. You can grow anything you want under the blade, and the beauty about it is it's modular too, so you can add more on if needed. You can go with the glow and then get that perfect combination of color that you're looking for. So blades are just awesome. I mean, the reception of the blades has taken off, and I've had so many people walk up at the booth and say, They absolutely love their products.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I've heard the same thing, that like anybody that has one is like, no, that's an awesome light. Anybody that doesn't have one is like, that's...
They want to know more about it.
Yeah, or they're just like, that looks like a strip light. I'm like, hey man, that thing's
not.
a beast, right? And really the only difference, I mean, that I found between like the A and something like the Edge is just, or the Blade versus the Edge is, just, I guess, some of the features and controllability of the different channels. But like you said, if you put a glow and a grow together,
yeah,
you've got everything you need. You've got all the channels that you would usually want anyway. So, hey, there's Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, no, they are, like I said, I mean, and then you could even combine them.
Yep.
Do with the hybrid kit.
Yeah.
You put the hybrid kit on there,
Yep.
you're on the Edge, you're on the Blade. I mean, possibilities are endless. Then you got your Prime.
Yeah.
Your Prime is a
that's right.
heck of a
also
light, too.
Also, great little light, yeah.
Probably the most popular nano tank light out there. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, we have basically everything you can imagine.
And you have some that you for freshwater refugiums, things like that too, right?
Freshwater refugiums, yeah, we make it all.
Yeah.
We literally have everything for the freshwater hobbyists out there.
Yeah.
If you have a refugium, you can go with the Prime refugium and or the Blade refugium, and it's going to light up your refugium, grow that macroalgae as you need it.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, that's super exciting. If you guys are curious about more about the AI products and what's available out there, check out the Bulk Reef Supply website for the full line. All going to be on there. Cade, thanks for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it, man.
Not a problem, Brian.
All right. Thanks, guys.